This is Nathan Stanford Sr. from CodeCraft Hub, helping others learn to code. This is the ColdFusion Simple Blog, Episode 5. So now we're back to the next step of starting to build this into a blog. So basically, a blog is just a list of posts right in a row that you don't show the entire post, but you show a little bit of code, a little bit of description of the post, a little bit of the body, and maybe the title if you have a title for your particular blog. So let's see what we can do here. Let's go back to VS Code. Let's actually go look at our query, create the tables, and if we look here, we have title and the content. So we have a title that we can describe what the blog post is about. So what we need to do now is think about this. Before we can start displaying the blog, we need a way to be able to create the posts for the blog. Now, this particular blog, because it's the super simple blog, or at least right now it is, we're not even going to password protect because we're just practicing getting this going, and then we'll talk about where we go from here. So what we want to do is to create a section where you would administrate of adding posts to your blog and adding users to your blog. So if there's a user with a password, then they will be able to post. The rest of the users are only going to be able to watch and read for now. So let's close that. Let's actually close everything. Close all. So we're going to go here to the index and we're going to say, okay, what do we want to do? We have the header, we have the footer, we have the nav bar that we haven't been using. So let's first create a little nav bar. But before we do, I would like to show you one thing you can do with Bootstrap 5. So if you go to Bootstrap and you go here, then you search for dark mode, and then you look at these different themes. You can see the different themes of dark mode, ways you can add dark mode. The one I'm looking for is this one right here. So we're just going to copy that one line, and you'll learn, if you watch my videos, that I tend to hate white mode. Hate's probably a strong term, but I don't like it. I feel like it's too bright, especially when I'm developing, because I don't want to see. So now the problem we have is we've got a dark background with white text by that one change, but we see the debugging information in white. So for right now, I'm going to simply hide the debugging information for now. So let's go ahead and go to the top up here, show debugging output set to true. We're going to change this to false. So now when we hit refresh, we see our simple blog. So we've got it set in dark mode. So now what we need is some kind of nav bar to be able to go to the admin, or even we could even just do a link, but I'm going to do a nav bar. So what I would do, if you're using Bootstrap, if you're using Tailwind or others, then you can do other things. But right now we're doing Bootstrap. So if you scroll down in here till you get to nav bars, right here's nav bar, and then you scroll down and find the nav bar you want. I really don't need one that has a search or any of that. I'm actually going to just copy one. So let's scroll down to find something simple. I do want to have some links, so we will copy this one. So what you can do now is you can make this copy yours. First, bring it here, paste it in your nav bar. And okay, if you click a link and you add the active to it, it will automatically make it look a little brighter in this particular case. So let's just actually hit save and go look at it before I start making changes. I'm used to doing this on my own, so making changes. Notice there's no nav bar. because we have not included it. Now what I'm going to do, because this is the simple blog, I'm just going to include the nav bar here. So CF include, and then we want to tell it where this file is. So if we look at the header, it's going to be in the same file, navbar.cfm. Now let's just go see if that works. And it does. I really want the navbar. I kind of want to make a couple changes. So if we go back to the index page and we look, we're using the title here, right? So we don't really need that title if we're going to add it to our navbar, which is where I'm going to add it. So I'm going to go back here to the navbar, and we're going to see where it says navbar. And I'm going to paste that in here. Now, because I'm going to do ColdFusion variables in here, I need to take anywhere there's a hash for right now, even the places I'm going to delete, just so you can kind of get an idea. Anytime you have a hash for an ID or anything else, JavaScript calling ID, or here's another example up here. We'll put another hash there, and we look and see, is there any more? I don't see any more. So then what we want to do is use CF output, and we want to copy that. I like to keep it as formatted as close to clean as I can. So now it's all formatted with 2 spaces over. So now we've got this formatted nice. Let's at least go look. It's not going to have changed except for this navbar text. Now we have that. We got rid of the title down here. Down here is where the blog is going to be. And notice how home is brighter than features. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here. We're going to change features to admin, and then we're going to delete pricing and disabled. So you can have links that are disabled that people can see that they exist, but if they don't have the rights to click them, that's why they're disabled. However, if you've got to log in, then we probably should just simply not allow them to even see the link. But for now, we're just going to leave the admin link right here, and we're going to work on it, and then we will add security at some point. So, here we go. The link we're going to need, I like to take all my security stuff and put it in one place, things that need to be secured. In this little app, it's going to be such a small amount. We will literally create a folder called admin. And then let's go to admin index. So if we come over here and we close this and we say, okay, I want a new folder, admin, and I want a new file called index. Now this admin will go here. So now if I click refresh, we have home and we have admin. Admin will go here. So what we want to do is let's go back and let's make, let me think this through. Do I really need an admin navbar? For right now, I don't. So for right now, we're going to just have it click and go to admin. So the only difference between admin and this is we're going to have to make some changes to make it work for the footer and the header. So if we simply say, okay, now since I'm in the admin folder, you need to go up one folder, which means go up two dots. 1 dot means you're staying in the same folder. 2 dot means you're going up a folder. And then if you were to hit slash, you can see includes is right here. So we now know that's going to work. We can come down here and put 2 dots there. And so now what we want to say, for now I'm going to delete this, but I'm just going to put admin for. Okay, so if I go back here and I hit admin, now it says admin for the simple block. So we now have home and we have admin. Whoops, I don't have that link set up. So let's go fix that. So we go to the navbar. Here is home with 2 hashes, which means it's just saying hash. So what do we want to do? We want to make this go to the root of the website /admin. The problem is right now this application is not in the root. So we want it to go to simple blog /admin. I could manually type that in here, simple. Oh wait, is it CF Simple Blog? Let's go look. It's actually CF Simple Blog. CF Simple Blog admin. Oh wait, not admin. Index CFM. So now, if I do that, so that it starts this first hash saying start from the root of the website, go to CF Simple Blog Index and display that. So now if I hit refresh and I click home, it brings us home. So now it's going to work both ways. However, what if I now publish this site where the root of the web server is this, where it's it's got a URL named cf_simple_blog.com, and you want it to go straight to the index. So how do we fix that? Well, there's multiple ways to do it. One of the ways to do it is we could set an application variable, because the application, once it's running wherever it's at, is never going to change. So let's just say this web URL. So that's meaning the URL, the main URL for this. In fact, let's not. Let's this web path. Let's say path. Because when I think of URL, I think of the simple_blog.com. That's not what this is. So we're going to go like this. And I don't like to have the other slash in here, and I'll explain why in a minute, but this, I don't mind having the slash in the beginning to say go to the root, go to simple blog. So now if I copy this web path, now let's try a couple things. Let's actually hash, you're going to put the variable in here to get it to be displayed. Let's see what happens when we do that. And in fact, let's even do better than that. Let's copy this and paste it here so we can see what is it displaying. Yes, we could point at it and look down here to see what the URL is, but we're coding. So I'm here back at simple. I clicked it. So if I click here, as you can see, I've got a problem. It's not really doing what I want. So the nav bar is gone. So okay, well, duh. I have debug turned off, so I'm not seeing that there's an error, but that's okay. There's two things we can do. We can do this, because otherwise there is no variable going to show up. And I can do application, if I can spell. Okay, so let's go over here, and I'm going to put this, and I'm going to save, and let's go see how it looks now. So we can see on this one it's working, but we're not seeing the second one. So if I delete this, and then I go like this, and I go like that, now it's all working, but this code here is making it look ugly. Let's get rid of that. Hit refresh. So even though it's in an application variable, that's working. I can just use the word this. And actually, even though I could set it up to use application.webpath, I prefer this because it's 4 letters. I know it sounds silly, but when you're learning to code, you will learn little by little by little that every keystroke, every little thing you do matters. Because if you're going to code something that ends up having thousands of lines, when you add all the pages together, it's going to have thousands of lines. You want to save every millisecond you can to be able to accomplish what your goal. So now, the reason why I don't like having the slash in this web is because you can see we're going to the root, this web path, slash index. So I can actually see the slash, and I can, because see, if I don't have the slash, yeah, I can see it, but it just doesn't look as nice in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So the application title should also go to the same place as the web page. So it should go to index.cfm. So now, when we go here and we click on home and refresh, we should be able to click there to go to home. So we can go to admin, click here, and go to home. So now we've got our little web page started to build our blog. We've went through a lot just to get to here, but if you're a beginner, you're going to need all these steps to be able to know what to do. Now, what you can do is you can also look and see, well, how do I figure out whether it should be the home that's bold and active or whether it's the admin that's active? Well, one of the variables that you have access to, and let's go back to header for a minute. I'm going to turn off dark mode for a second, and we're going to put light mode because the debug works better and displays better in light mode. So here it is. We will leave it this way until I get through this section of trying to figure out what you can do for certain things. So let's go to index here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just do a cf dump. Now what cf dump does is it dumps whatever's in the variable. You do have to have pounds around it, so it passes all that to cf dump, and then it dumps out in a nice display. There is a variable that you get when you're using the web, even if you're in PHP or Perl or ASP or Vue, React. CGI variables exist. So let's go look at the CGI variables. So when I hit refresh, hold on, this is the home index. Click on home, and I'm not getting it, so let's see. Oh, because I put an S on it. It's a CGI variable, duh. And you can tell when the color changed that is something special. It's a special word. So let's click on home again. Okay, so now we're getting CGI variables. There's all kinds of information in here to look at. There's the template path that lets you know exactly where it's located. You start going through here. You see a lot of things, but we're going to focus in on just a certain few things. One of the things we're going to look at is this script name. And I'm looking to see, that looks like the best choice as I recall. So we're going to start here with this. Now see, we can see we're doing localhost. So if we were on a web server that had, like, this is the where I clicked to come to this site. That's why it's called refer. I clicked somewhere to go here, and it's going to tell you where it came from. The current host is localhost 8500. So I could change that section where I show the web path having CF simple blog. If it was www.myblog.com, I could say, if it says myblog.com right here in the local host, then I could actually have the path not have CF simple blog and just go /index, knowing it's going to go to the right place. And else I could have it then go here for when I'm doing local development, working on the code before I push it to some other website, to some other server, web server, to be displayed. So let's see, we've got script name. We want script name because if we add on here, well, I can't add it on right here because the dump wouldn't show up. But if I add on here /admin and had it show the dump, it would say CF simple blog /admin /index. So what we want to do is we want to do a couple things. We're going to start by saying, okay, let's see what a switch will do. What a switch is, if you don't know, is you take something that comes in and then you compare it to other things, different cases of things, and you do different things depending on which case works. So switch case for now, what we want to do is expression here. Wait, I'm going to do do it slightly different. We're going to go right here to the nav bar, because what we want to do is display or not display this active. So what I want to do is I could just simply, so what we want to do is I kind of want to put the switch case in here. And we're going to start doing it old school. So I could just type out CFSWITCH and have it give me what to do. But let's get rid of this. Let's say you don't have any helps installed. I have CodePilot. I have, I thought I had tab 9. I don't see it down here. Let's go here to file extensions. You can use CodePilot for free for a certain period of time. I don't know if it's still free because I've had it long enough. So there's GitHub CodePilot. You can install this. You see it's installed, and I have the chat installed as well. And it will help you when you're coding. As a beginner, you may not want this because you need to learn how to drive. After you learn how to not hold on to crutches, then you can add these crutches so that when you're typing and coding, it'll save you a lot of time. But that's kind of up to you. Another one that you can have is called tab 9. And I thought sure I had that installed. Kind of surprised I don't. So this one's made from tab 9, self-hosted. I'm not worried. Tab 9. I don't remember which tab 9 I had installed because I believe there was a different one I had. Maybe they quit supporting it. I'm not going to install it. I'm going to leave it alone for now. Let's go back here. Let's close this. Without CodePilot, you know you need to do a switch because you want to be able to have this be active if it equals this. Well, you know what? You might not even be doing a switch. You might be going in here and adding an if statement in here if you were doing old school. So let's actually do that. So you would say CFIF. I don't like it. I don't like it. You could do CFIF CGI. What was it? Server. Let's go back and look. It was script path, I think. Down here, script name. Sorry, not script path. Script name. Script name. If it equals this, because we're trying to compare, it equals this. Let's put quotes around it so it knows we're trying to compare the whole string. If it equals this, then say yes. And close the CFIF. Now let's go see if I did everything right or if there's any bugs. So if we come back here, scroll up, hit refresh, it says yes. So right here we are on home. We are not on home. We are on home. So let's do the same kind of thing. Let's copy that, paste it here, and we're going to simply change this to be the same path as below. And we're going to add admin. Now, I probably should do this. There we go. That way they both match. So now when I go back and I click on admin, we get a yes above it. So that should be determining what is active and what is not active. So there is some code called ternary operator. So what we want to do is use that, and I'll show you an example of that. Ternary. Wait, okay, I keep forgetting. I'm going to show you that, but we shouldn't. We should instead as a beginner, you're not going to have that as a snippet anywhere. So you should probably go look, like if you remember, there is this thing that exists. There, you can obviously do it the way I was showing. TENNARY operator ColdFusion. So you can do a search, and you can see right here is an example. Now this won't display for everybody. This is a thing that I would recommend, and it looks like I actually did this myself. But see how it says grepper add? If you go to grepper, here I am getting sidetracked. Grepper. And you go here. You can install this extension called grepper, and then you can go sign up at grepper. And what it does is when you go search for something, if you've searched for it before, you can click here that you like it. And this one happens to be on my own website, but I'm gonna like it, of course. It's on my website. But you can copy this as an example, but all we really want is this example right here. So what we're going to do is go back, we're going to look at this, and we're going to say, okay, so how do we do this? This code is written in a thing called CFScript. When you're using CFIF like this, that's a CF tag. So what we can do is move this back to CF tag for now. At some point in the future, when you're not a beginner, or pretty soon after you've started coding, you want to be able to learn how to use CFScript for certain instances. Not everything has to be that way. So what we want to do is output the result of this query. So we'll just say output the result, and I'm going to put parens around it so we know this text came from inside the result. So the condition is this condition, we've done the if statement up here. So we want to copy that, and we want to say this condition, if it's true, put out this condition is true, else put out it's false. So let's actually save. So right near the yes, we should see conditions true. If I did everything right, we'll find out. So let's click home, conditions true. So that's awesome. So the reason why it's awesome is all we really want to do is output this word active, right? So if we come in here and we say active, and then we simply leave this totally empty, which means don't put anything. Well, now if we go back and look, what does it do now? Instead of this condition is true, we got active. So that's actually what we want. We want if this URL is matching the one that we're trying to display, make it active. So let's get rid of the word result. But before we do that, let's actually copy this. And what we want to do is we really want to, well, let's try it the other way. What we want to do is say, okay, we want to put the word active right here. So let's get rid of the yes, so we don't have to see that, and I actually will get rid, I'll leave that one because we're not going to click on it right now. So if I click on home, so now it shows that active, now it shows that's not active, now it shows that active. See how it's just a little bit bolder. Okay, so active is working, but we want to do the exact same thing, but now we want to do it for down here, and we want to take this result and we want to copy it, and we want to put it in here right after nav link and save, but we need to change the path that it's looking at to this, saying if the path is that, then make it active. So now let me click on admin. Admin gets, oh, let me go get rid of the yes. Let's get rid of the yes. So now when we click on home, I did something wrong. Let's go back. Oh, yeah, I don't have the ending of the CF set right here. So I'm saving that. Let's go back. hit refresh. Okay, I did something else. Let's see here, result. Oh, yeah, I don't have the other part of it. So we need this, double quotes. So now it knows if it's false, do this. So it's true or it's false. So if I hit refresh, so it's back. So now if I click admin, you see how admin's bold and now home is bold. It's just barely bold. You can change what your active is and inactive to make it bolder or whatever you want to do. But you can see now that that's working. Now, if I remember right, all I have to do to change this now is say, okay, let's copy all of that and let's replace it where it says result, right? So now what I want to do is I'm going to go here. It says the length, the path, and I'm going to put it like that so that it all fits on the page. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to copy this, delete, and actually I can delete result because we're getting rid of it, and I need to do it in the other one as well. Paste that in here, and then I guess I did get rid of it. I don't see it. Good. Let's move this back one, and let's come to here, hit enter, tab, and I guess tab again, maybe not. There. So now those are lined up. Now we can go back here, hit refresh, click on admin, click on home, click on admin, and we can get rid of that dumping of the CGI variable here so that it looks good without the debug information showing up all the time. So let's hit refresh and then hit home, admin. Okay, so what we want to do is simply say the home 4, and then in the admin it says admin 4, and it's got paragraphs. Let's actually do a paragraph tag around it. Not that, oh, I did have one. Okay, we'll leave it. So now I can click on admin, home, and I've got it switching from home to admin, nice and easy. So for right this second, I'm going to put it back in dark mode so we can look at it in dark mode. And that's easy enough. Dark. So if I go back here, hit refresh, so now we have the admin, we have home. So in the home, that's going to be the place that you would go to see the blog. Admin is if you have the rights, then you will want to try to set up a login. For right now, we're going to skip setting up the login. We're just going to get this working as an example first.